The Russian elections are coming up soon, and usually around this time there is a question of whether Russia really is a democracy or not. When you see how long Vladimir Putin has stayed in power, there being a president and a prime minister, you know, you do get that hint that maybe it's not what it appears to be. I mean, we should not really accept Russia as a democracy because it's capitalist. And in capitalism, well, the bourgeoisie rule things, not the people. Your vote doesn't matter. The dollars of the capitalist class are what matters. But here's something that I find very interesting. Despite all the controversies that Putin has been subject to, whether he actually did them or not, he still seems to run without any problem. Now, we've got a guy from the Communist Party in Russia. His name is Grudinin, who won 12% of the votes when he challenged Vladimir Putin in 2018 presidential election. Now, he has been excluded as a presidential candidate because the prosecutor's office had found that he had held shares in a foreign company, news agencies reported. That's enough to get you removed? Putin doesn't own shares in anything overseas? Or anyone else in his party for that matter? I find that very hard to believe. But this is enough to have a Communist Party member removed and banned from participating in elections? And this is according to the Russian media. So this isn't something that the Western media has invented. Now, this Communist Party candidate has been known to be the head of an agricultural cooperative, the Lenin State Farm. He's denied having foreign assets and has linked his disqualification to the Central Election Commission for potential opposition parties during a post with strong results, because he had a strong result in September, Interfax reported. So he denies that he actually owns these shares in a foreign company. Whether he did or he doesn't shouldn't really matter in terms of bourgeois elections. I mean, if he's already, the guy behind a farming cooperative, which is already a positive step, being pushed out here, I mean, this is very strange how a guy who's very popular in his party, does the actual real stuff by being a part of an agricultural collective isn't allowed to run. Now, the CPRF chairman, Gennady Zyuganov, denounced the decision by the Central Election Commission, calling it a shameless, petty, dirty reprisal, and vowed to appeal the decision to the Supreme Court. So obviously the Communist Party isn't in agreement with it. And there's a question as to whether or not he actually does own shares in a foreign company, which probably shouldn't even matter to begin with. But there still is the important question as to whether or not he really does or not. It would seem to me that Putin is trying to keep someone who is at least fairly popular out of the elections, because he would be running against Putin. Now, it should be actually very obvious whether the guy does own shares or not. And if he says he doesn't, I actually tend to believe him. But it makes you wonder why Putin or the Putin government is looking for ways to exclude popular people from the Communist Party, given the popularity of the Communist Party in Russia. While we don't know all the facts, this is certainly something that people should think about. Because while we do agree with a good deal of Putin's foreign policy, particularly supporting the legitimate government of Syria, this by no means squashes anything that he does or obfuscates anything he does as a member of the bourgeoisie. And remember, he is. He is, for all intents and purposes, a rich oligarch. And he still runs Russia as such, as a capitalist country. So I just thought we should keep this in mind, and I do understand that Putin is not free from being criticized, that while there are plenty of false allegations in the Western media against him in Russia, there are perfectly valid things that we can criticize him for. Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.